What is up, team? Happy Thursday to you. Man, I need to trim my beard. Man, my hair is just running away from me. Look at that. Just getting out of Dodge. Peace out. All right. So be it. Derrick Evans here, VA Home Loan Specialist, NMLS 155010. Call, text, or email me with questions. So this is one of those things that comes up a lot with people who have bought a home. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to be buying solar for the next 20 years. I mean, we have such a long run of people buying and upgrading solar that's going to take place, and it's going to, happen for a long time. And the costs will probably stay about the same. The technology will continue to get better. But the question that I get is, hey, I put $50,000 or $60,000 or $30,000 into my house in solar. Will my home value go up that same amount? The answer there is probably not. Now, this is true with everything, not just solar. Solar's functional and saves you real money, saves you actual dollar bills, which is great. But the trouble is that it's never going to quite be worth what new solar would be. So if you put $30,000 into it, 5 years later, you sell the house. By that time, the $30,000 worth of solar that you could get will be much better than the $30,000 of solar which you got 5 years ago. So remember that solar is tech. And so, tech is super deflationary, and therefore it's sort of self-fulfilling. So with solar, you're not going to get all the money that you put in, but the home will be more valuable to some buyers. Some buyers won't care, but the home will be more valuable to some buyers. Let me just first of all say, I love the idea of solar. I wish we could figure this out. There's no reason to not use the free energy that's being provided. And I think we will one day. And I think Tesla's on the right track with the solar that's a little more expensive, but not an eyesore. And so I hope we get there. Pools. Here's another thing. A lot of people right now, home values are way up. They're doing cash out, get $100,000, put in a pool. Will my house now go up $100,000 in value? It won't. It won't. And this one I don't understand, but this is just how it works. If you take $100,000 and put in a pool in your home, or in your yard, you are not going to get $100,000 necessarily in value out of your home. Now, in my opinion, you should, and maybe one day you will, when we get to a point where it's much more difficult to get pool guys to a house to put together a new pool. As of right now, that's still not a problem. So if the price of pools goes up, then maybe your home will increase in value, but probably not. When you're putting in a pool, when you're pretty much doing anything to improve your property and that doesn't add square footage. So if you want to increase the value of your home, the way to do that with money is to add square footage. If you add square footage by adding a room, an ADU, etc., that is where you're going to find you will make some money on it. So I just want to clear that up because this is happening. A lot of people doing cash outs, and I'm talking to people about it. Perfectly reasonable thing to look at and do right now. And something worth considering, beyond just like debt consolidation, stuff like that, investing in your home, investing in your happiness with a pool or something that makes you happy. We're going to take a quick look at mortgage rates. Actually, before we do that, so I've been talking about right now, we're starting to see, and San Diego is not mentioned in this article, by the way. This is just a national data that's coming actually directly from realtor.com and just sort of republished here. We've had an epic housing shortage, and we still do. And from a macro perspective, we do nationwide significantly. But what's interesting about this article is the epic housing shortage may finally be starting to lift as surprising number of new listings hit market in June. In June, new listings increased 5.5% year over year and 10.9% compared with May, according to realtor.com. But remember, when you're in an epic shortage, first of all, that makes the percentages easier. When you're using small numbers, the percentage increases. It's easier for that percentage to be bigger. Second of all, when you're in an epic shortage, you should have, more inventory coming. And this is what I've been kind of alluding to here in San Diego, although we didn't make this list of the top 10 markets. And we're not going to. We don't have that kind of inventory here. And I don't see that changing. But we do have more homes coming on the market. You are seeing more offers being accepted, less 20 offer situations. Homes are being priced more appropriately. So, there is some good news there. And then the other thing I wanted to take a quote here from the senior economist, George Ritui, Ratiu at Realtor.com. He said, our June data report shows good news on the horizon for homebuyers. And what he's basically saying is just there could be more homes to choose from. This doesn't mean that homes will be less expensive necessarily. So keep that in mind. That is not part of the bargain with this data. But basically, that there should be more inventory coming. The drastic shortage that we've seen has a compilation of many factors. And while we will still be in a low inventory environment, there should be a little bit more than what we've seen recently. And so the opportunity to seize that could be short, because there are a lot of buyers who have went ahead and signed 1-year lease agreements, who've just sort of exited the market, said, I can't handle it anymore. So if things get a little bit better on that front, then the buyers who are still active in going after the market may have a lot better shot to get something than the people who will pile in later once maybe this inventory situation goes back to the way it was, which is actually what I expect. I do not think this will be, this is an end to the inventory situation in San Diego. I think we're going to see a little bit of spike of inventory, which we always do. June, July are where we see the most, typically in the annual year, when we see the most number of units sold. The two biggest months will typically be June and July. So right now, here we are, July 1st, by the way, second half of the year, 2021 already. That's where we are. We're right at that point where we're right in the middle of, June and July. And so this is that time. Now, things will be quiet over the 4th of July weekend. A great opportunity if you are a buyer who's not, who's not doing something for the weekend, to look at homes and potentially write offers. Realtors work all the time. Remember, they work all the time. Bless them for that. They work over the weekends all the time, even holiday weekends like this. They'll be available. They will be, reviewing offers and stuff like that. It is an opportunity. It is. If you don't have plans, if you have plans, enjoy yourself. But a lot of people have plans, so a lot of competition is out of the way, and no agent is going to, most likely, unless their client directs them to, set up a new listing to come on the market this week. It'd be better off setting it up to come on the market Tuesday, just because there will be a lot less people out there. But the buyers who have stuck with it and who are in there, they'll have those opportunities. So keep that in mind. That's what we mean. That's what's going on here. Now let's look at the chart. I want to talk about interest rates because we do have a fork in the road situation going on, and it's a massive fork in the road. Our macro downtrend is somewhere in this range here. I don't think it's something like that. And then here's our micro uptrend, and you can see we're coming to a head here. It's coming to a head. We're going to break out one way or the other. Usually the big trend wins, which would mean that bond prices are going to head lower and interest rates are going to head higher, and that's what I've been preparing everyone for. If you're purchasing a home right now and you're in escrow, go ahead and lock the rate. You can float down if bonds break out and rates drop. You can float down. If you can't float down, working with the wrong bank, call me. And then if you are in a refinance, again, this is one of those situations where if you like what you've got there, if you've got some really good savings, you're saving $250 a month or something, you got a nice chunk there, go ahead and take that, lock in the rate. If, we're only saving $100, I wish there was more, make it worthwhile, then wait, see if it breaks out. You might lose that hundo, but if it's worth it to risk it, then you're okay there. I do like what I see here in the action. Look, we knocked on the door. We made it through some of these moving averages, pulled back. We're hanging in. We haven't had the big rejection, and I think that's the key right here is that we've encountered these three moving averages are all right here in the same spot. We've not really been rejected. We're just kind of hanging out. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign for this uptrend to continue, which would be fantastic. Would love to see us get back up here to 104. I think it's totally reasonable, and we could even get, maybe 104.20. If we can break out through this, depending upon where this moving average goes by then. So that would be the next target. That is, almost 100 basis points from here. So big deal, probably 0.25% in interest rate. For people, I'm sorry, I talk about basis points. People want to know interest rate. That's about 0.5% or 0.25% in interest rate. most likely. Could be more, could be 0.3%, just depends on your tier and a bunch of other factors. There's so many variables in interest rates, it's hard to give that. But that's what's going on with that. So what I would say right now, heading into July 4th weekend, let's take a step back and go, all right, what's going on in the market? Let's take a look at the market over July 4th. I really want you to do this. If you're in the market, you're a buyer, you're out there. I pulled a search earlier, up to $1 million with a pool, just to see what that would get you. Up to $1 million with a pool in San Diego, starting from Oceanside down through Escondido. I don't want to Poway here. I may as well mention this. Yeah, why not? Let's look at it. Take a look at the market and really just see if you notice anything. Do you see that there's more homes to choose from? Even if you can't find one that you love yet, do you see that you have more options? Are you noticing, something I've seen lately, a couple price reductions? Hey, what's that? Price reduction? Have you ever heard of such a thing? Blasphemous price reduction in this market? But I've seen some. Here, this home in Poway here is I believe it's a 4-bed. It's not huge, but it has a nice pool area. And for $890, decent fenced-in backyard, not a hot home, only 1,300 square feet. That's the knock on it. But 4-bedroom Poway with a pool, $890, not a hot home. That seems like an opportunity to me. So take a look at the market, see what you think, and just keep an eye on watching this inventory come in. If you're a picky buyer who needs like a very specific thing, obviously just stay on top of it. If you are, just, hey, we're looking for, like I was doing my search here, if we're looking for 4 bedrooms with a pool, hey, awesome. Look at some of the different areas, see how many different properties that you're seeing, and get a feel for that inventory. Just note, my opinion is that this small love of inventory that we're getting here in San Diego is going to be temporary. And I do believe, especially as we close in on the summer, I think August is going to be a hot month. I think the end of July, the last 2 weeks in July, is going to really heat up. So it's a good time to be writing offers and getting into contract. And, hopefully rates will cooperate. If they don't, we'll see how that affects the market. But last time it didn't have a big impact. So as of right now, my advice to buyers is to stay the course. Stay the course. If you aren't seeing something you love, keep looking. Try to get yourself into that month-to-month situation where you're not stuck. Hey, gun to my head, have to buy a house by the 29th, or we have no place to live. Do the month-to-month rental, even if it costs a little bit more. Try to stay patient. Look for the inventory, spike in inventory, especially through this year, and then keep your eyes peeled for opportunities. One of the other things too, there's a lot of these coming soon listings that are popping up on searches here in the MLS and on Redfin where I've been looking. Keep an eye on those too. Keep an eye on those. The coming soons, you might have a chance to get in line a little bit sooner. But here's my biggest piece of advice to buyers right now. And I probably should have led the whole segment off with this. When you go to make an offer, expect the home to have multiple offers. How do you strategize that? Well, you have to thread the needle a little bit. You don't want to make your first offer your best and final. You don't want to say, this is it. This is all I want to give. I want to do this much, and that's it. That's our best offer. Tell them to take it or leave it. Don't do that. Okay. You want to offer enough that you stay in consideration, but you also still have room to go up to where your final price would be. And here's why. Because the listing agents are going to pit the buyers against one another. So if you say, well, $750 is my max, so just offer it all and then just see if that works. And if it doesn't, then so be it. When you offer $750, they are likely letting the other offers know, hey, we've got offers as high as this. Bring your best. So they may communicate that $750 number to the other buyer's agents who are trying to make offers on the property. So they're going to use your offer to ratchet up the price. So best piece of advice is, if you wanted to, let's say it's listed for $699 and you're saying, okay, $750 is going to be, where we think it'll end up. So let's just go ahead and offer that right up front. Don't do that. Offer $725, maybe, or $720, and then and maybe remove some contingencies or something. Do something else that makes your offer enticing for the listing agent to say, we want to counter that one because we like that one. They don't have an appraisal contingency, or they waived their appraisal and their inspection contingency. Because when they come back for best and final, you can change that. So if they don't take your 720, 725 offer, those terms, you could put your appraisal contingency back in when you do the multiple counter. You could put your inspection contingency back in when you do the multiple counter. So, that is a way as a buyer right now that you could take it, sort of not take advantage, but sort of play the game a little bit. You want to stay in it, but you don't want your offer to be the one that's driving the other offers higher. And that's something that is a little bit difficult for buyers to understand, or people who aren't in real estate or haven't bought a lot of properties to understand. So we need to coach people to that if you're in the real estate community, how to navigate that process, because you're going to have to make two offers. You're going to make your initial offer, then you're going to get a counter offer. That's pretty much how it's going right now for people who are winning. I'm really excited about everyone who has been winning this week. Lots of offers getting accepted, more than we've seen recently. So that's just been super, super awesome. Really, really excited about it. So many families getting into great homes. Just really, really cool. But I'll be here if you need me. Questions about the VA home loan, questions about any loan, but the VA home loan is my specialty. Call, text, email me, information on the screen. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.